lot of times when you as an artist struggle to create, you're working with sketches and materials, and in a sense you're trying to come to a point where, in a way, the work begins to talk back to you, or it lines up. It's like a tone or a note, and all of a sudden it's there, because you're struggling with a part of the communication of, you're trying to define it three-dimensionally. As a sculptor, and you're alone with it, and you're struggling with definition. Father, forgive them, they don't know what they do. You're dissecting every part of that statement, but the key word is forgiveness, and they don't know. But how do you express that three-dimensionally? So you're alone with that material, but all of a sudden, when the sculpture is then presented, you're trying to use a whole grouping of words in front of an audience to sometimes describe something that you don't totally fully understand yourself as the artist, with a group of people that are pretty intensely wanting definition. And so, like the payback word, it's like, how do you define that? And then you get to the point of the whole sense of all the why questions. How do you define sometimes that something that is very evil, and you look at it and you realize that out of the evil something has been produced that is incredible. And you look at one verse I love is the whole sense of the brothers before Joseph, and he is emotionally unveiling himself, his desire to reveal himself to his own brothers who have thrown him away, have had the memory of casting away their own brother. They've carried the guilt of it. They've gone through this incredible weaving of events and circumstances that God brings them through until Joseph reveals himself to his brothers. And the brothers are shocked into a place of almost like a repentance. The emotions of Joseph overpowers then the brothers, the act of grace towards them on the guilt that they've carried for so long. And now he, the one that has the ability to save them or destroy them, and he chooses to save them, and not just them, but the entire lineage. He saves. But the statement that in a sense brings it back to only God can define everything, whether it's a word, a visual definition of something, where you look at something like that and Joseph says to his brothers, you intended it for evil. And they would fully have to agree, because it was an evil act. And they knew it, and they carried the guilt of it for a long time. But he said, God intended it for good. And then in a sense, it would be your saving.